All right, guys. The Warriors showed us that they're still the Warriors. This is the Hoopsner postgame show. That game almost killed me. I did not know what to expect the entire time. I had a feeling it might come down to a Kawhi shot, and I'm a little disappointed Kawhi didn't just rise and fire over the double team at the very end of that game. But let's talk a little bit about what led to that. Obviously, the big story of this game was Kevin Durant getting hurt, and you hate to see it because you don't want to see players hurt in general. I mean, anytime a player gets hurt, it's frustrating, and you just don't want to see that. So it's kind of amazing that Kevin Durant even played. He put his body on the line. It was a little predictable he might get hurt. You kind of saw it coming, and eventually it did. But you got to give it to Durant. He gave everything he had, literally. And he's probably going to be out for the series now, unless, he miraculously gets better. But it looked pretty bad. He left on a boot and crutches. And the Warriors still found a way to win. Now, part of that is because they are filled with two of the best shooters ever in the history of the game, the best backcourt shooting history ever. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry proved why they're great. And at the end of the game, when it mattered most, they hit big-time buckets. They overcame a Kawhi run that was incredible. That stretch where Kawhi just hit 2 threes and then a big-time 2. For some reason, Nick Nurse calls a timeout that almost basically ices his player, as like football, where you just keep your best player from his rhythm, and then all of a sudden he couldn't hit a shot. You allowed the Warriors to kind of get their rhythm back and find their defense. It was a bad timeout by Nurse to call that at the end. Now, it's not that cost them the game. Honestly, there were two players that were rough for Toronto tonight. Rough. Pascal Siakam had to be benched at the end of the game. He was unplayable. He was awful to start the game. It was like, and I know they only credit him for 2 turnovers, I think, for Pascal, but it was like 4 awful possessions to start the game. He can't be that bad. You can't play that badly in the finals against this Warriors team, because this is what happens. When you have that many possessions, you give up the ball, you're going to lose, because the Warriors are good enough to beat you no matter what. Even if everything isn't going their way, even if Kevin Durant, who, by the way, 3 for 3 from 3 tonight, Durant shot 3 for 5 from the field. He was unreal, just being able to spot up from 3. That was the game, honestly. That was the difference. You had Pascal, who played horrible. Now, he did play defense against Durant, and that was pretty good. But man, Pascal has to be better than that. If he's going to take the ball to the hoop, you better either shoot it or get a pass to someone else. If you're going to the hoop and you're going to turn the ball over like that, you need to be benched. And he was rightfully benched for what he was playing. Danny Green had some boneheaded plays. Sometimes I don't understand what he's doing, but man, he makes some boneheaded plays sometimes. Sometimes he hits big-time shots and does great things. And sometimes it's painful, and it's fouls on Curry and fouls in transition and weird. I mean, here he had one foul where he should have been called for a foul, and I was shaking my head, and the Raptors were lucky he didn't get it. But what are you doing, Danny Green? Hit a shot, hit a shot, please. If you're a Toronto fan, though, you've got to be a little bit, without Durant, the Warriors are not the same team, and the Raptors showed they can beat them when they don't have Durant. And they've got to do that now, because now it's going back to Golden State. The Warriors are going to have to figure out a way. But the thing that's a problem, Kevon Looney's out. The Raptors have a game-winning formula against the Raptors. Or the Raptors have a game-winning formula against the Warriors, like they showed the last 2 games. They won the last 2 in Golden State. They know how to beat this team when Durant's not on the floor. Durant has that big of an effect that when he's on the floor, even when he's like 60%, which is what he looked like, it still affects everything. And now they're going to be able to go back to that game plan, be able to figure out a way to beat the Warriors in Golden State without Durant. It's going to be interesting to see. I actually think the Raptors got this, but they can't take it. They can't take it easy. They can't come into the game slow and sluggish like they did tonight. They were playing behind the whole time. They've got to find a way to stop the Warriors if they want to win the series, or the Warriors are going to win it all. Because that's what the Warriors do. Guys, like and subscribe this channel. We're going to be back Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. And then it's going to be free agency and draft and all the things. Guys, talk to you later.